Thanks.
Thank you, Table Topics Master. AI, is it a threat to humanity? And I think that the answer is a resounding yes. And before we get into some of specific reasons we could cite as to why it might be a threat, I do think one of the biggest glaring issues that we have is that we have this class of technology that, it's if I had a large language model here on the table and you said, what is it? I could say it's a technology that can design machines, that can design better nuclear weapons and pharmaceuticals than we already have, but we're hoping to use it as a Snapchat filter. That's kind of where we are right now. And the classes of technology that we've bundled into the umbrella term of AI are so widely divergent in their uses that I think one of the biggest, scariest issues facing us in the discussion of AI is that I think AI, we've used the term so long, we think we understand what we're talking about, but I think as a technology as a whole, the collections of technologies that we qualify as AI, is less understood than crypto was when it was a big buzz term, and we all knew, almost nobody knew what we were talking about when it comes to crypto. So I think AI is even less understood than cryptocurrency was in Web3, but is on the tips of so many people's tongues. Now that said, the capabilities of this technology are so incredible and so useful for those who can get access to the GPUs to run these large language models. Let me give you an example. You can take an infrared camera and a regular camera and point them in a room with Wi-Fi signals bouncing around. And you can train a model to show the infrared camera, hey, when you see this, this is what the camera sees, and you put the two together, and it can approximate. So you can train the model, you can remove the camera input and just have the infrared camera pointing at a room that has Wi-Fi in it, and now you've taken basically the language of Wi-Fi signals and trained this router to essentially be able to see people in the dark, maybe through walls, all pose estimation just from AI being inserted into the signal chain of this camera. And that's all my time for now. But if that's not scary, and if you don't understand how maybe something like that could be misused times a gazillion, then, well, you should understand it.
Now, please help me welcome James, who's the opponent.
Thank you very much, Madam Debate Master. Fellow Toastmasters, our esteemed guest, and my esteemed opponent of artificial intelligence. He asked us to consider the terminology, but then he never used it. He kept calling it AI, like it's some sort of a bogeyman. It's artificial intelligence. And artificial intelligence has been around for a long time. It's really nothing new. What does your cell phone do? What does Google search do, or any other search do? It tracks, it uses cookies, and it helps you. How does it help you? We need to buy a new vacuum cleaner. So I typed in to Google, vacuum cleaner, under $300. And now I'm getting ads all over the place for vacuum cleaners. It's great. Now I can go and I can look and I can see what's there and I can find it. Now, if I don't want to get all these ads, I use DuckDuckGo. But for AI, for artificial intelligence, it's really going to be a great tool. It's going to learn. It's a computer that can learn. Snapchat filters, my esteemed opponent of AI mentioned, these are great. I never look so good as when I use a Snapchat filter. Divergence is great. Divergence means innovation, progress. So that's great. We're going to innovate with AI. Are there some misunderstandings and a lot to learn about it? Yes, absolutely, because we're at the beginning stages of the artificial intelligence in terms of machines actually learning to design other things. But it's nothing to be scared of. Don't let your feelings, affect you. Use your mind, analyze what's going on, take a look at things, and if you need to avoid the Wi-Fi undressing you behind the walls, there's probably ways around that. But AI is here to stay, and then we just have to embrace it and figure out how to make it work for humanity.
Now, I'd like to give David a minute to decide.
Thank you. Friends, let me point you to the last 30, 40, 50 years worth of science fiction movies that we've had, from The Terminator to Lost in Space to 2001: A Space Odyssey. These movies have been around quite some time, and they've also been around since GPS and tracking. Those things have developed even since these movies predicted the kinds of technologies that we may have in the future. But the difference with the technology class of this artificial intelligence, these self-learning machines, it's kind of like saying, the space program had maybe computers that had as many actual connections as your neural connections in a worm's brain. And now we're looking at machines that have many billions more connections than some human brains and are more efficient at encoding information between them. This is all very esoteric, and I don't have a penchant for brevity. So it takes me a very long time to craft a short, concise message, so I apologize for that. That's almost all of my time. But I will tell you that the runaway condition that this class of technology presents to the world is going to come to us in a very startling fashion. And I imagine in one where we won't even understand it. We are in the frying pan while it's coming to some kind of a boil. Thank you.
Now, 4 minutes to James.
Thank you very much. Once again, my esteemed colleague seems to try to tap into the human penchant for fear. And it's natural. People sell based on fear. Look at our political class. The one who scares us the most about the other person running against them is probably the one who's going to win. So let's just take a deep breath, relax, and while there may be some things to think about, I love the Terminator, by the way, because, guess what? We're going to figure it out. The humans found a way to come around the machines by building a machine to fight the machines. So I have a penchant towards trusting humans, trusting their ability to innovate and overcome, and that's why we will use AI, artificial intelligence, very effectively. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'd like to